So I want to break down the numbers for a cash pay telehealth business. What does cash pay specifically mean? It just means you don't accept insurance. These are going to be like your GLP-1 clinics and peptides. There's others out there, but this is what we know very well. We've worked on some hormones and some other ones. For the sake of this is what's hot right now. This is where the real money is. Who am I? I'm the founder of Patient Acquisition, Daniel Walton. I've helped single clients go 0 to 100 million. They've done this in less than 12 months of launching. My team has acquired 45,000 plus patients for our clients, trackable back to our efforts. We have a blended average order value of over $600. Before you start investing, you need to know these numbers in a site, tech platform, or doctor network, or pharmacy. All of this is very important. And a lot of people are only thinking of it from their limited knowledge and perspective. You can talk to any of these companies that are in this. That could be a website company, that could be the tech platform, that could be your doctor network and your pharmacy network. Why these aren't going to be the most reliable solutions for you is because they haven't done this. When you actually have to spend money in this space, you're going to have a different perspective than these other businesses here who have never done what you're trying to do. So in this space alone, we've spent over 20 million. We have single accounts currently spending 500K per month, and we've had clients spend 1 million plus in the past. Just some numbers. When you're spending that amount of an ad spend, everything else looks different. Here's the numbers that actually matter to you. How you set up any of these things is going to depend whether you can hit these numbers or not. These are just some numbers that I ran on the orders that we've done with our clients. This is only pulled from the last 6 months. What we're seeing is 53.5% monthly orders with an average order value with an AOV of $290 per order. We're seeing 36.6% quarterly or above with an average order value of $1,207 per order. 9.9% of the orders are other, which I would consider this indirect, meaning you might be advertising for GLP-1 campaign. That's generally what these are coming from. But what you get is you get NAD, Samorelin, etc. And the average order value of this is $279 per order. So this is the order type: monthly orders, quarterly orders, other orders from GLP-1 campaigns. Just to be clear, a monthly order is those subscriptions. Everybody thinks all you're selling is subscriptions. That's not the case. People are buying quarterly, 6-month and 12-month options. As a marketer, when you have the right foundation, you can choose monthly, or I would say cost of acquisition or profit. You can't choose both. Now, this is part of what we do as a marketing firm is we help businesses decide what do they want to focus on. Some well-funded. I don't care about anything else other than cost of acquisition. This is the only metric that we focus on. Others say, Daniel, I want to be profitable ASAP. That's what I care about. I'm self-financed. I personally make money off of the growth of the business. So generally, this is what I'm focused on too. You can't choose both. If you choose both, you're going to achieve neither. As a marketing firm, when we build out the website, the tech platform, the doctor network, the pharmacy network, when we have influence in these decisions, we are able to focus on what it is that you want to achieve, whether you want to achieve CAC, whether you want to achieve profitability. Based off of our first call with you, if we do the build out for you, we're going to determine what is more important to you. Are you thinking very long-term strategic? I have millions of dollars in the bank. We don't need to see a profit for 12 months. Or, you know what? I'm self-financing this. I want to see profit. I want to put more money back into this business. I don't need to get to 100,000 patients. I just want to get to millions of dollars in revenue. What we do is in the first call working with me is we're going to do the math. Marketing is just math. You need to know these numbers, and let's go back over the rest of the numbers that we didn't. And then from there, the breakdown, monthly breakdowns, what we're seeing is 68.5% tirzepatide with an AOV of 305 per month. We are seeing 31.5% semaglutide with an AOV of 258 per month. Now, before you say, what? I'm seeing all these people advertise 149. That's what you don't understand. You don't understand the back end economics of how this business works. Those are front end offers. Don't let an ad confuse you for what the actual purchase is. I encourage you to go through those, put your money down, go through that and check. What happens is they then end up selling you on one of these larger plans, a quarterly or above. It could be a quarterly, 6-month or 12-month. In order to get that price, it's that. Or that's the front end offer. First time order, then it switches to this. Before you say all this stuff, you don't know these things. You haven't actually done this. I'm only saying it from the experience I have working on over 50 telehealth businesses. We've either consulted on them or done the marketing for them over the last 3.5 years. This is just from my experience working on over 20 white label platforms. Now, the quarterly breakdown, what we see is 56.8% TERS, 43.2% SEMA with an AOV of 1308 and an AOV of, for the quarterly, 1076. As you can start to see, when you focus on selling higher ticket, guess what happens? Your average order value starts to increase. So if we focus on monthly, we're going to make less money. If we focus on quarterly, we're going to make more money up front. Let's go to the blended quarterly. So blended split on quarterlies is 1207. Here's the big one, revenue split. This is the big one. For our clients, again, I'm not saying for every telehealth company, I'm saying for our clients because we get to decide, and I'm heavily influenced in the growth and profit of the business. So we focus on profit first generally. What we're seeing is 70.8% of revenue comes from the quarterly plus plans, quarterly, 6-month, 12-month plans, the high ticket orders, 24.8% from monthly, and then 4.4% from others. Indirect marketing, other product SKUs that you might have. This is total revenue. So this isn't just the front end revenue. The front end, we see about 10% from others. Again, this is total revenue that we're generating for the business. Imagine making decisions where you're at based off of just monthly orders. Well, I saw everybody's charging this monthly price. How can I ever compete with them? Because you don't have a good marketer. With good marketing, that's the only differentiator between you and all these other companies, is having a solid marketer who knows how to set up, who can do CRO, which is conversion rate optimization on your site. This is going to be done on your site. Set up your site properly, not a template. This is a custom site, generally on Webflow, WordPress, or fully custom coded, who can set up your CRM, who can keep you out of trouble. And that trouble comes from the FDA, FTC, or big pharma. So the marketer must be able to handle your CRO, set up your site, set up your CRM, run ads at scale. I wouldn't trust a marketer who hasn't spent at least $100K per month on this specific telehealth space, in telehealth. Not any telehealth, in cash pay telehealth. Doing exactly what you're doing. Not, oh, I've worked in like treatment centers or any of these other online telehealth businesses. That doesn't matter. So you need a marketer who can do that. And what happens is one of these things breaks or is broken and they need to know how to fix it. This is what I've been doing, is fixing these things for businesses. And then actually, I forgot one big thing. This is the number one biggest thing. I'm going to put it in red because if you get this thing wrong, you're out of luck. You will never make money in this space if you don't have this. This is the only thing that it doesn't matter if you get this right, this right, this right, this right, and this right. But if this is wrong, you will make no money and you will actually set money on fire at scale. Why this is so important is because you need to know what is happening, right? You're in a Facebook and Google and TikTok are restricted categories. So it's already hard enough to get attribution in most businesses after iOS 26, but then you factor this in, and if you don't have this set up right, what happens is you get banned and restricted. Doesn't matter how good of a marketer you have. If they don't have experience in telehealth, you are wasting money on them. The last numbers for you to understand is the first order analysis. 44.7% of new orders, of new custies buy quarterly or above. Now, again, I'm not saying all telehealth businesses. I'm saying the clients that we have handled the marketing for, because we focus on profitability, which means our average first order on these orders is $12.05. 49% buy monthly with an AOV of 273. This is the big number. Your blended first time average order value is 6 $194. This is why clients of ours are willing to spend all day to $400 per acquisition. If you want somebody who can help you set this up the right way, apply to work with us.